My name is Anna Nordén, and I have a PhD in environmental and behavioral economics. Currently, I'm the network manager of Sustainable Development Solutions Network, SDSNNE Northern Europe. The network gathers Nordic knowledge institutions to promote sustainable solutions to reach the Agenda 2030 and also to promote joint learning. The SDSN Northern Europe is hosted by the Center for Environment and Sustainability at Chalmers University of Technology and University of Gothenburg in Sweden. And today I have the privilege to be joined by one of our co-chairs and also one of the scientists that was appointed by Ban Ki-moon to draft the UN Global Sustainable Development Report. Warmly welcome to Gothenburg, Professor Katherine Richardson.
Thanks very much, Anne. I'm actually trained as an oceanographer, a biological oceanographer, and I still go to sea and I still study processes in the ocean which are very related to climate. But during my journey through my career, I've really been very taken by and become very involved in Earth system science and the interaction between human activities and the planet as a whole. So I'm completely devoted to the transition that we need to make as human beings in our relationship, in managing our relationship with this planet.
And today you are a professor at the University of Copenhagen in Denmark.
I am indeed a professor at the University of Copenhagen.
Yeah. And you're leading the Sustainability Science Center there as well, right?
And I lead the Sustainability Science Center there, and I do a lot of teaching. I'm in the process of doing a MOOC at this very moment on the SDGs.
Okay, we should spread that in SDS in Northern Europe, I think.
Yes.
Well, let's go to the first question. So we are wondering, why do you think the goal 17 is important? And why is it important to you?
Goal 17 is important because it's the only way that we'll be able to tackle systemic changes. In research, we reward people, we promote people, we employ people for being experts in detail in their own little part of the problem. But if we want to solve these problems, we have to be able to bring them out in a system context, and that means bringing different people together, and that is SDG 17.
Definitely, and it's a quite broad goal, I would say, compared to the others. It has 19 targets, which is quite a lot. And I think also, if I can add something to that, one thing that I think is very important in that goal is that they also point out how we need to respect the national level on implementing these goals. And I think that goes also to how we want to work in the SDSN, right?
Well, I think actually what many people don't realize about the SDGs is that until we got Agenda 2030, we didn't have any international convention that really respected the fact or acknowledged the fact that our resources on this planet are limited. In spite of the fact we've had pictures of the Earth since 1968 and can clearly see that it's not attached to anything else. So when we've used what we've got, we're not going to get any more. And when we throw things away, we can't really get rid of them. And so the SDGs, the convention around the SDGs is the first time we really acknowledge that our resources are limited. And the SDGs themselves can be seen as a vision for how we want to share these resources, not only among the 9 to 10 billion people that will be in 2050, but also all other living organisms on this planet. And I think that makes the SDGs very, very special.
No, definitely. Completely agree with you. So let's move to the other question. Who would you invite to a fika if you would like to discuss SDG 17?
I would invite the leaders of agricultural organizations. And the reason I would do that is that in terms of climate's probably one of our most pressing, or people seem to feel that climate number 13 is the most pressing time-wise of the SDGs. We can't solve 13. Everybody knows that it can't be solved without transitioning our energy system. But it can't be solved without transitioning our agriculture system as well, and people haven't really begun that discussion. Not only that, but agriculture alone, if you look at the planetary boundaries, agriculture alone moves us to the wrong side of the boundary in terms of land system change, in terms of biodiversity, in terms of release of reactive nitrogen and phosphorus to the environment. And it also makes a huge impact on water and the hydrological cycle. So if we are going to have any hope whatsoever of achieving the SDGs and coming onto a sustainable development trajectory, then we simply have to get agriculture at the table. And right now, agriculture is doing everything it can to push this discussion away. So we really need to have good, solid dialogue, respecting the challenges that agriculture has, but responsible dialogue on how we make this transition with agriculture.
Thank you. I would like to be in that fika. So also, as we said before, SDG 17 is a very broad goal, and there is a lot of different field of studies that are needed to implement the whole agenda, which is promoted through the SDG 17. So which field of study, except your own field of study, would you invite to this fika, and do you think it's important to highlight when we talk about sustainable development?
Well, I actually think that the most important is getting control of climate, probably. But beyond that, I think SDG 12 is probably the most important, which is responsible production and consumption. And in order to be able to have responsible consumption or production and consumption, I think we need to really get circular economy moving. So whether it's economists or whether it's technical people who can make the transition to circular economy, I don't know. But whoever it is, I want them to be at the party.
Thank you very much. We're very happy that you were at our party here today. So, yeah, thank you.
A pleasure.